Jojo's bizarre adventure is a labyrinth of supernatural logic, bloodline curses, and timeline paradoxes. For decades, fans debated 8 mysteries that seemed like plot holes, until canon explanations, creator interviews, and manga deep cuts solved them. Some answers are tragic, some are mundane, and one rewrites the rules of death itself. Let's dissect every one. First mystery, Dio's Coffin, the double-compartment resurrection. The contradiction is immediate. Erina Joestar escapes the burning ship in Dio's coffin at the end of part 1. 100 years later, divers pull the same coffin from the ocean floor with Dio inside. How did both survive in the same container? The coffin had a hidden double-compartment design. Dio concealed himself in a sealed lower chamber, while Erina floated in the upper section with baby Lisa. When the ship exploded in 1889, the coffin sank. Erina was rescued. Dio remained entombed underwater, using the stone mask's vampiric hibernation to survive a century without air. The mechanism itself is never fully animated, but supplementary materials, including the Jorge Joestar light novel, confirm the false bottom structure. Dio's body, fused with Jonathan's from the neck down, required no oxygen. He waited. When treasure hunters cracked the seal in 1983, Dio awakened instantly, slaughtered the crew, and began his hunt for stand users. The coffin's discovery in Egyptian waters ties directly to the excavation of the stand arrows, suggesting Dio orchestrated his own rediscovery through bloodline telepathy with the Joestar family. Second mystery, Gold Experience Requiem. Diavolo erases time. He sees the future. He cannot be touched. Then Giorno Giovanni pierces Gold Experience with a stand arrow, and Diavolo's fate becomes incomprehensible suffering. Gold Experience Requiem traps Diavolo in causality reversal. Every time he nears death, stabbed by a junkie, dissected by doctors, run over by cars, the moment resets before completion. He experiences dying, but never reaches the truth of death. GER doesn't kill him, it removes his ability to reach any endpoint. This is confirmed in the manga's final act of Part 5, where Diavolo's consciousness fragments across parallel timelines. Each death is real. Each one begins again. He exists in superposition, simultaneously alive, dying, and resurrected in infinite permutations. The stand's ability, explained through metaphysical dialogue, operates on fate manipulation. Diavolo's fate was to die, but GER rewrites that fate to loop eternally, denying him even the dignity of oblivion. The horror is existential. Diavolo, who erased his identity and lived outside causality, is now trapped within it, a prisoner of the very concept he tried to transcend. Third mystery, Joseph Joestar's senility, the ripple reversal. When Joseph arrives in Morio in Part 4, he's 80 years old, shuffling with a cane, forgetting names, and behaving like dementia has eroded the cunning tactician from Parts 1 and 2. Fans assumed age had finally beaten him. Then something strange happens. After adopting the invisible baby Shizuka, Joseph's vitality returns. The manga explicitly states that caring for an infant gave him a renewed purpose. His posture straightens, he drops the cane. In later scenes, he's sharp, energetic, and even hints at resuming ripple training post-Part 4. The explanation splits into 2 theories. First, Joseph's senility was partly an act, a psychological defense to avoid confronting his illegitimate son, Josuke. Second, the ripple, which slows aging through breath control, requires mental discipline. Depression and guilt over his affair weakened Joseph's ripple flow, accelerating his decline. Paternal love for Shizuka reignited that discipline. The manga supports both. Joseph's recovery is shown visually through posture, dialogue sharpness, and the symbolic moment he removes his hat in front of Josuke, a gesture of respect, clarity, and acknowledgement. Whether deliberate or organic, Joseph's senility was reversible. Love, not medicine, cured him.
Fourth mystery, Josuke Savior, memory, not time travel. In a snowy flashback, young Josuke and his mother are stranded. A stranger with a pompadour pushes their car free, bloodied and silent. Josuke idolizes him, adopting the hairstyle. Fans theorized Josuke would time travel in Part 4's finale to become his own savior. Araki had other plans. In a 1994 interview, Araki confirmed that doesn't mean anything. That's just Josuke's memory. The stranger was an ordinary man. Josuke's childhood brain embellished the details. The The hairstyle, the heroism, the sacrifice. The Savior's face is deliberately blurred in the manga because Josuke never saw it clearly. This debunks the time loop theory entirely. The mystery was never supernatural, it was psychological. A frightened child rescued by a kind stranger built that memory into mythology. The pompadour became Josuke's identity, not because of time travel, but because childhood idealization shapes fate more powerfully than any stand. The storytelling purpose is subtle but profound. Jojo's world bends reality, but some mysteries are just human. The stranger was never meant to return. He was a narrative symbol of Josuke's values, selflessness, resilience, and the weight of gratitude.
Fifth mystery, Holly Kujo's stand illness, the price of bloodline. When Dio awakens in Part 3, every living Joestar develops a stand. Jonathan's body, hijacked by Dio, activates latent spiritual energy across the bloodline. For most, this is empowerment. For Holly, it's a death sentence. Holly's stand manifests as thorny vines that wrap around her body, draining her life force. The explanation is canon. Holly's non-combative, gentle personality prevents her from controlling the stand. Unlike Jotaro or Joseph, whose fighting spirit subdues their powers, Holly's docile nature allows the stand to attack her autonomously. The illness isn't a curse, it's her own inherited power rejecting her. The stand, a manifestation of the soul's fighting will, finds no compatible host in Holly's pacifism. It turns inward, consuming her. The only cure is killing Dio, severing the bloodline connection, and deactivating all stands spawned from Jonathan's body. This scene, midway through Part 3, becomes the emotional engine of the Crusaders' journey. Holly's collapse, vines bursting uncontrolled, doctors helpless, Jotaro's rare moment of visible fear reframes the entire quest. It's not revenge, it's rescue. The tragic irony, Holly's kindness, the trait that makes her beloved, is the very quality that dooms her. In Jojo's universe, survival demands aggression. Holly's inability to fight is her fatal flaw. Sixth mystery, Jotaro's hat, the seamless silhouette. Jotaro Kujo's hat appears to merge with his hair. Knockable? Yes. Removable? Occasionally. But the back edge blends into his spiky black hair so cleanly that fans debated whether it was part of his skull. The answer is mundane. It's a torn school uniform cap. Constant fighting ripped the back, leaving ragged fabric that blends with his hair due to matching color and texture. Araki designed it intentionally for silhouette distinctiveness, a visual shorthand to identify Jotaro in action panels. The Chapter 1 of Stardust Crusaders shows the damage clearly. It's not a mystery, it's character design. The hat-hair fusion became iconic not because of lore, but because Araki's art style prioritizes bold, recognizable shapes over anatomical realism. Still, the fandom's obsession with this detail reveals JoJo's cultural impact. Even throwaway design choices become mythology. Seventh mystery, Keicho Nijimura's Arrow Massacre, the Desperate Lottery. Keicho Nijimura uses the stand arrow to mass create stand users across Morio. His goal? Find someone powerful enough to kill his father, a mindless flesh monster transformed by Dio's experiments. His brother Okuyasu possesses the Hand, the stand that erases anything it swipes, yet refuses to use it on his father. The contradiction is Keicho doesn't know where the Hand's erasures go. Okuyasu fears erasing his father might trap him in eternal suffering rather than grant him death. Emotional paralysis, guilt, uncertainty, filial duty prevents Okuyasu from acting. Keicho's massacre becomes an act of tragic hope. Every new stand user is a lottery ticket for patricide. He's not evil, he's exhausted. The arrow, discovered in Dio's Egyptian ruins, grants power indiscriminately. Keicho's crime is desperation weaponized. When Red Hot Chili Pepper kills Keicho in the story arc's climax, his dying moment is tearful confession. The monster upstairs was his father. The stand users were his last resort. Okuyasu, finally understanding, still cannot act. The Hand's power remains unused on his father until someone intervenes. Eighth mystery, Polnareff's Turtle, the soul beyond biology. Jean-Pierre Polnareff dies fighting Diavolo. His body is destroyed. His soul, manipulated by Silver Chariot Requiem's body swap ability, transfers into Coco Jumbo, a turtle with a stand that creates a habitable room inside its shell. This is canon. Polnareff's consciousness inhabits the turtle permanently. At Part 5's conclusion, after Diavolo is defeated, Polnareff willingly remains in turtle form to protect Giorno and the Arrow. His humanity transcends biology. His loyalty outlasts death. The body swap sequence is surreal. Souls drift, bodies collapse, the turtle gains sapience. Polnareff accepts his fate because his mission, stopping evil stand users, continues. He mentors Giorno from within the turtle, a disembodied voice guiding the next generation. It's absurd. It's tragic. It's peak Jojo, a man reduced to a reptile, still fighting, still wise, still Polnareff. His sacrifice represents the series' thesis. Stands are expressions of will, and will persists beyond flesh.